Academy to help purpose-driven entrepreneurs create success in their own lives.
The dollar amount is just a reflection of the impact that we have made on this world and how many people we've been able to help through courses, programs, masterminds, live events. And that leads us up to the Bahamas, where it was all coming together beautifully and things shifted. It was horrifying. I'm somebody who's always thinking about the future and the bright side and the fourth dimension, and there was none of that. But I have come out of this now just absolutely knowing without a shadow of a doubt, even more than I knew before, what I'm here to do. It was all part of the plan of preparing me to be able to help more people. Tomorrow starts tonight. This is one life. We're only here for a short time. I only have infinite number of opportunities. I only have an infinite number of moments to experience the wonder that is this life. And I'm not going to waste a moment of it any longer.
It has been the last 2 years that have been the greatest leaps in terms of who I am and the way in which I exist on this 3D plane. And while 2022 was the hardest year for me, health-wise, business-wise, self-love-wise, emotional-wise, it has led me to be the woman that I am today talking to you in this moment. I am the healthiest that I have ever been. While my health is at its best, my business is booming. We are having the biggest quantum leap we've had in business, and it is so beautiful to watch. And in 4.5 years, we are now sitting at over 25 million in revenue, heading towards 30 million. And I am so grateful for every person that has chosen me to lead them, to guide them, to hold space for them in their ascension. I always lead from the front, and I hope that everyone sees that me deciding to become my best, doing the hard work, getting uncomfortable, helps you to become your best, make a difference in this world. Step in and choose to be daring and to be bold and to serve and to help people. We have served people in over 55 countries in the past 4.5 years. We have had over 72,000 different people sign up for my live events. We have had over 2,100 people take courses and programs through Diamond Academy and to be changed and to be elevated. And we have created multiple millionaires and multi-millionaires. And this is just the beginning. Diamond Academy doesn't turn 4 until July 1st. And so we're coming up to a 4-year anniversary. Imagine what you can do in 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, and the impact you can make on this world. So I sit here today telling you my story in hopes that you see yourself in it, that I am simply a reflection of everything you are capable of, everything you can do, and the type of life that you can live for yourself, but you have to ask for it, and you have to go for it, and you have to see yourself worthy of it, and that you can soar as high as you want into this beautiful world that we live in, with much love and with much gratitude. Kathleen.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hello, everyone. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep these blinds open. I have the sun coming in, and it is hot. KCV, Shivali, I am so happy that I got to meet you this week. I was in Los Angeles. I am. Well, technically Malibu. And it's so beautiful because I had so many of you come to see me, which I'm grateful for. And why is there 2 of me? Oh, the team's texting me that there's 2 of me. I don't know why. Anyways, we're good. We'll sort it out. I can only see myself. I don't like that. You guys know me. I like to see all of you. This is why I never do a direct stream, because when we do a direct stream, I can't see everybody's gorgeous, beautiful faces and see their smiles and auras and beautiful energy. So I'm so grateful that you are all here. I'm putting these blinds down. Baby, I got the remote right here. I was prepared. Look at me. I'm in beautiful Malibu, California, which, as all of you know, is my second home. It is part of a manifestation process of mine that you are all observing and getting to witness. right before your eyes. So I'll keep you posted on that. Looked at some beautiful properties while I was here last week, and I'm moving things into the physical. So I'm getting as close to my manifestation as I possibly can and preparing for it. That is a very, very powerful thing to do. So hello, everyone. If you are on Zoom, I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Let us know in the chat where you are coming from. And if it's your first time, let us know that it's your first time live with us on Zoom. If you're watching on the replay or you're watching on YouTube, you can do the exact same thing. Just comment in the bottom of the stream. Let us know where you're coming from and if this is your first time joining us live too. It's helpful for me to know how many first timers, because when I talk about my story, if we do have a lot of people that have not heard it before, I will tell it a little bit differently than if we have a lot of returning people, but it looks like we have a lot of first time. Okay, well, I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad. So I want to start us off really, really quick with just a beautiful opening prayer. One of my favorite little prayers is by Neil Donald Walsh in the book Happier Than God. And I love the way in which he says this. And so I will use his words, which if you all know whose words those really are, Neil has conversations with God. So these prayers come through as a direct reflection from that source energy. So I will read this prayer and modify it a little bit. It is 9:11 a.m. for me right now, Shannon Beardsmore, as I say this, not surprised. That is an angel number that always shows up for us in a very, very beautiful way, in the most perfect timing, for us. So it means a lot. Oh, it's 111 there. Oh, man, 1111, 111, 911. It's just... source energy, spirit, God, universe is with us in every moment. And I hope that you are all feeling that right now. So please join me for this beautiful little brief prayer. Thank you, God. Thank you for giving us the space today to be together. Thank you for putting us in this beautiful collective energy with the goal of helping each other thrive, grow, and develop and become our best selves. Thank you, God, for taking care of my beautiful mother, Wendy, and giving her love and support and healing as she's in the hospital in this moment with a beautiful heart that requires just a little bit of mending in this moment. Thank you, God, for this training and for this life and for this wonder of this specific moment. Thank you for everything that has ever happened to me, everything that is happening now, and everything that will happen. For all of it has produced the perfection of this next breath and the glory of who I am now going to be. Those were Neil's words there at the end. So good. Thank you for the glory of who I am now going to be. So I would love for each and every one of you, as you go into this training right now in this moment, to make a decision that you're going to leave this training a different version of yourself. You didn't come on to a live event called Identity Shifting to walk away with no shift in your identity. You came on here to leave differently. And so the goal of every single one of my trainings is not for you to be entertained. It is not for you to gather information, but it is for you to be transformed. And so the goal here is to help you with that process over the next couple of days. What's really, really beautiful about this moment and about this circumstance or this event of your life, you ending up here on this training. So if you are on here live, if you are watching the replay, if you registered, but you didn't do it and it's now 3 months later and you're doing it right now in this moment, many people do that. It is not by coincidence and it is not by accident. Everything happens in divine alignment and purpose for your greater good. So there is something within you that has called this into your experience. Seeing the post on Facebook or a post on YouTube or someone inviting you, it is not by accident. You created that, and it is the very process of manifestation in which I teach that is happening right before your eyes. So when you have a deep longing and yearning for more greatness in your life, when you desire to love yourself more, to be proud of yourself more, to become an elevated version, it is no coincidence then that you see a training come up that you join and you are on watching, whether it's live or on the replay, it does not matter. You literally brought this into your experience for you to manifest what you desire. You are powerful. And I want you to see the power behind every action that you do and every step that you take in your life. It is no coincidence. So you manifested this just like I manifested this. And here we are manifesting together for the greater good of us all. So over the next 2 days, I have some beautiful content that I want to share with you all. Identity shifting has been one of the biggest, most powerful things that I have ever done to change my life. And it isn't about writing some things down. It isn't about visualizing just some small little thing that I want to manifest into my life. This is about creating a shift in my identity to then create a shift in my outside world. The ego will ask the question, what's in it for me? So why would I bother becoming an elevated version of me? Why would I bother changing the belief systems that are so deeply rooted in the subconscious mind? Why would I try to see myself in a new light? Why would I journal? Why would I study? What is the reason for all of this? The ego wants to know why. And what I've connected to is a greater purpose outside of myself that becomes the reason why. It is understanding that by manifesting my greatest human experience, I then know how to show you how to manifest your greatest experience. So allowing myself to be fulfilled, to be happier than I've ever been in my life, to feel levels of gratitude that I never thought would ever happen, to be able to be at peace, to be able to be so inspired and empowered and in love with this woman allows me to now teach all of you how to do that. Because we will express based on what we think we are. And so if I don't think I'm worthy and I don't think I'm good enough and I think I'm less than and I'm flawed and I'm broken, am I going to help any of you from that state of mind? No. And what I'm actually perpetuating is an environment of self-hate. And while some of you don't think you hate yourself, you certainly do not love yourself. There is a big, big difference. I'll never forget Jose. He said, Kathleen, I never hated myself. So I thought that meant I loved myself. Jose's in my inner circle. And he said, but what I realized is I was indifferent. And so I don't want you to feel indifferent. I want you to feel so lit up and excited about who you are that you are proud and you wouldn't want to be anybody else. So for these next couple of days, I am going to take you on my personal journey and process to identity shifting. I love the word shift because it sounds easy. It sounds light. It's like a quick little shift. We're just going to shift things. If I try to tell you that we are going to rewrite the whole entire story and whole script of who you are and create this entire new existence, your subconscious mind's going to be like, oh no, that's too much and that's too hard. We can't do that. So I want you to see that we're going to shift and then we're going to shift and then we're going to shift. And this journey of identity shifting is going to be a lifelong thing for you. And it's beautiful. And we do change our entire lives. We fight to stay the same. We try to keep our outside circumstance the same. We'll stay at the same job. We'll live in the same house. We'll have the same friends. We'll even keep some of the same clothes that we've had for 20 years. But the key is that you're always going to shift and change. And we want to make sure that we're doing it intentionally. And we really, really want to make sure that we're shifting for the right reasons so that we can make our outside world shift with us. Everything is a reflection. So as I become better, my outside world will become better. So today we're going to be on here for 2 hours. Well, an hour and 40 minutes because I just talked for 20 minutes. But we're going to be on here for 2 hours. We're going to be back for 2 hours tomorrow. There's going to be some homework that I'm going to give you tonight. There's no worksheets or workbook. I find that the easiest, most streamlined way for me to do this is to just give you a task to do before you come back on day 2. So do the task, then come back onto day 2. So you have that awareness shift before day 2. So we're going to do that. Today we have a beautiful interview. So I am actually going to interview one of my one-on-one clients. She's a member of my inner circle, very, very powerful, beautiful soul. And she is going to share just how shifting her identity changed her life. So I wanted an example of somebody outside of myself that has shifted their identity and it's resulted in an outside world shift. I don't want to just have somebody says, oh, I feel good now and I felt bad before and nothing outside of me's changed. Like, I really want to show you the power behind actually shifting that identity, so your life actually starts to change too. You manifest real difference and change. So we're going to talk to Deepika at about 10:15 my time, which might be 1:15 Eastern time. We got a lot of time zones going on over here. We're going to be masters of the time zones. How about that? Also, we're doing 2 scholarships again. So I will announce an award, a scholarship today. I will also announce an award, a scholarship tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a guided visualization that I was so inspired by that I have to recreate it. So I'm going to recreate it in my own way, in my own language, with my own music. But tomorrow, I'm going to guide you along a process of meeting the best of yourself in a guided visualization. So it's going to be really powerful. You're going to want to be on here live. Please do not miss that. The other thing is we are getting into Thanksgiving, and we have created a Black Friday offer, a Black Friday bundle, a promo. I don't know what you want to call it, but it is by far the best offer I have ever put out. It is like, even my dad, who he works as part of Diamond Academy, and he is the director of the sales team. He is like, Kathleen, you're giving this away. He's like, you gotta, like, come on, bump it up. I'm like, no, like, I want this to be the best offer that we have ever had. And when I say it, I want it to be like true. I don't want to just be like blowing gas. Like, this is it. So we will talk about what that is tomorrow, and then I'll share it all on my socials and all that stuff. So we will announce a Black Friday offer tomorrow. The other thing I want to make sure that all of you are aware of is, as we go through this process, because now we're getting up to the point where we have a lot of beautiful souls on our trainings, it's not as easy for me to in moment answer questions. So if you do have a question as I'm going through, please send it to my team. Every single one of you has been assigned a manifestation mentor. So this is a member of my team that is here to guide you and support you through this training. And then they're here to guide you and support you if you decide you want to go further with us. So if you decide you want to become a part of our Diamond Academy family and you want to join the Academy with a course, a program, a retreat, whatever that is, they will tell you what the best option is for you. Please send your questions to them. I want to make sure we get them answered. If there is a large amount of questions, I might come back and do a Q&A. I might do something on Instagram Live. I'll just follow my intuition there on what I feel I need to come back to answer. So don't leave your question unanswered. Wait until the end of today to send it to them, though, because I might answer it. Like, you might have a question now and then I might answer it before the end of the day. So just wait. But if you don't get your question answered by the end of the training, please send it in to my team. Also, my team are personally trained and mentored by me. They've all taken my courses and my programs. They are all doing the personal growth and development work, and they all are beautiful extensions of this material, and they live it every single day. Please watch and make sure that you know who they are and that you know that they are with me. We have had some imposters that are saying that they're working for Diamond Academy and they work with me, and they don't. So anybody that is on my team is on this call right now. They have a beautiful background so you can see them. Can you guys raise your hands, please? Thank you so much. They all will have Diamond Academy emails. So it'll be like deblaze@diamondacademy.ca, so please make sure that if you're communicating with them, that it's through an email like that, not a Gmail. It's not going to be a Hotmail. It's not KathleenCameron.com. It's diamondacademy.ca is their email. They might text you. They might send you a message if they can't get a hold of you over email. So please extend your love to them. And if you do get an opportunity to speak to one of my team members, I hope that you feel so honored and blessed to be able to get their time, because they are the most beautiful lights that you will ever come in contact with. And their souls, they just want to lead, love, and serve. And they want every single one of you to become the best of yourself. And they're here to support you in that journey. So thank you very much, team. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. So please, if you need to speak to them and you haven't gotten a hold of them, check your junk mail, send them a text, or you can fill out a form. Maybe we'll have Jen just drop the form here. So we do have a form that you can fill out to get in touch with them. It lets us know that you would like to get in touch with them. You also saw my beautiful mama Wendy there. She's literally on here. This is her commitment to her work. She is literally on here from the hospital waiting to go for a procedure on her heart. And she's having her own miraculous recovery. So I got a little emotional with the intro video there because she sent me a picture this morning. So there is a picture that she took when I was I think I just got out of the ICU after my lung surgery. And she wrote the goal, miraculous recovery, and she drew a little butterfly, which is my spirit sign. And so looking up at that every day, I had the intention that, miracles are happening in every single moment. And she sent me a picture this morning that she wrote miraculous recovery on her little goal plan in her little hospital room. And she's having her own miraculous recovery right now. So we're grateful she's okay. We don't want to scare everybody, but she just had a little heart thing yesterday. I think they called it a heart attack. I don't know, Mom. But anyways, she is thriving, and this is the beginning of a beautiful new journey of growth for her. I think about our time in Miami, Mom. You took care of me. So sorry I can't be there, but I know you got Dad. So we'll see you real soon. Love you so much. Okay. Let's chat a little bit about identity shifting. I want to read you the back of my book. So I want to explain a little bit about this. If you have not read The Best of Yourself yet and done the journal prompts, please do so. It is an incredible book. I am so proud of it. So proud of this book. It is so good. But on the back of the book, usually we write summaries or we have endorsements or quotes from people. But what I really wanted to do here was I wanted someone that was thinking about reading this book to turn it over, to read the back, and to, my book just fell off back there. Did you see that? Oh, whoa. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Stop it, you guys. Stop. Ooh, I got chills. Anyway, what I wanted, we all know what that was. I know, we don't even have to say it. Okay, but what I wanted was somebody who's thinking about reading this book to go to the back of the book, to read this, and then go, that's where I'm going to end up after I read this. I better buy this book. Okay, so I wanted an end result or an end state or a utopia state of self to be on the back of this book so that you could feel the feeling of what it would be like to be there. So I think this is the perfect thing for me to read today. Hopefully over the next 2 days, you will end up in this place. So I'm gonna read this. This was written by myself and Jen Perman on my team. She's a beautiful, beautiful member of Diamond Academy. She actually is our community manager for House of Manifestation. She helps me with a lot of things like this. And she just makes it sound even better than the way in which I said it. She helps to finesse the language. So her and I did this together. The secret has been with you all along. Oh, what's happening? Somebody's opening up something. Okay, we fixed it. The secret has been with you all along. Imagine a world where you wake up one morning and don't question if you are good enough. You just know that you are. You don't try to measure up, compare, or seek validation because the love you have for yourself fills you up. You don't try to make yourself more beautiful because you know you are beautiful the way you are. As you gaze in the mirror, you're immediately struck by how amazing you truly are. Your light shines so bright, it's hard to ignore. You enter the world with unbreakable confidence, spreading joy and laughter everywhere you go. You move forward with unwavering faith, knowing that the universe responds to your needs. You understand that you are worthy of all the good things you encounter, and they easily come to you. You are bold and courageous, allowing your gut instinct to guide you. You embrace the ups and downs that come with life, trusting that every experience is a learning opportunity. You find joy in the little things, from a good cup of coffee to an evening spent with friends. You feel fully alive and appreciative of all life has to offer. This is the real you. This is the best of yourself. So this is what I want all of you to feel and to experience every single day. Now, there's going to be a lot of you that are already part of my family in here. There's going to be a lot of you that are members of the Millionaire Program or have taken Millionaire in the past, who have been in Modern Mentor or perhaps the Rise, who have come on my retreats or my live events. And I think if you are someone that has gone from a place of not loving yourself to what I just read on the back of this book, I would love for you to tell everyone in the comments that this is now your experience. And the reason that I'm asking you to do that is because I want everyone to see that no matter how you feel about you today, this feeling that I just read is available. And it's not given to you by someone else. It's created from within. It's a decision to see yourself that way, to have that experience, to love yourself. And it's not just about loving yourself so that you're like, oh, great, I love myself, life's good. No, we're going to go further than that. I want you to love yourself so much that you start to change the world. I want you to love yourself so much that your business starts to go crazy. I want you to love yourself so much that your bank account starts to grow. I want you to love yourself so much that all your relationships start to flourish and thrive and become better. I want you to love yourself so much that your health starts to improve and you become the fittest, healthiest version that you've ever been. I want you to love yourself so much that you start to get into fashion and beauty, and maybe you become a supermodel at 42 years old. Whatever that experience is for you. I want you to be able to have those experiences by understanding that they come from you. They come from you. So this book, The Best of Yourself, How to Manifest Your Best Damn Life Through You, right? So this isn't about trying to get it from someone or from somewhere. This is about you becoming the best of yourself and then getting access to the best that the world has to offer you. But you must give the world your best first to be able to get that back. That's so important. I want to tell you a little bit about my identity shift over the past 5 years. So in 2019, I was a woman who very, very much disliked herself. And when I say disliked myself, I can confidently say that yes, I did not like her. I truly wished that I was someone else. I truly wished that I was having a different experience. I always wished that I was like her, or I had her body, or I had her personality, or that I had her business sense, or that I had her bank account, etc. And so it was this constant feeling that being me wasn't good and that it sucked to be me. And part of that really started when I was younger, and it really started, at the age of 6, 7, when I started to put on some extra weight and have a belly, and, people started to call me fat. And when I started to hear that message that you are fat and fat is bad and wrong, I then believed it and I took it on. And then I believed that I was bad and wrong. And when you believe that you are bad and wrong and you are flawed and you are broken and you are a problem that needs fixing, there is a feeling there. There is this feeling that shows up. And so I want you to see that who you think you are today feels a certain way. And whatever that feels like is your point of attraction. So your magnet will attract to you based on that feeling. So for example, Kathleen back then, that version of myself, she would attract other negative people. She would attract other people and friends in her life who didn't love themselves either. And she would attract experiences very similar to the ones that she didn't like. Because guess what? That's what I was asking for. Not what I wanted, but what I was asking for based on who I was being. So I sat here this morning and I played some I have a God playlist. I know many of you have the link. It's my playlist on Spotify. And I know, gosh, now everybody's going to ask for it. But I was sitting here one day and Spotify just started playing the most beautiful music, meditative music, God music, if you ask me. And so I just started a playlist. I'm like, oh, look at all this music God's playing for me today, and one after another. So I just added them to my God playlist. And so this morning I put on my God playlist. I sat with Source Energy this morning, and I said, okay, take me back to where I was and how I felt about me, so that I can show you the duality between the identity of who I believed I was and the identity of who I now believe I am. So was and am. I want you to feel the difference here. I'm talking about one in the past tense and one in the present tense. Whichever one is in the present tense, that's the one that's manifesting. The I am, not the future. We're not going to use that language. I'll tell you why soon. Okay, so the old me, Kathleen in 2018, 2019, I believed I was flawed and broken, that I was ugly and gross, that I was gluttonous, that I was weak. I believed that I wasn't successful yet, which means I believed that I was unsuccessful. I did not believe that I was good enough. In fact, I believed I was less than or inferior to others. Okay? I did believe that I was ugly, that I was fat, and I actually felt very much like a victim. I had been hurt in my life. I had been bullied in my life. I had been put down in my life. So I felt very much like a victim. I felt limited. I felt restricted. And I did not feel like I could make a difference in the world. So there was this feeling that showed up for me so many times that I meant for more. There's more here. I want to do more. I want to be more. I want to have more. But I did not know how. And so what I can see and observe now is that I didn't know how because I was putting the how on actions that I needed to take. So I was like, what actions can I take today that are going to make me be better? What actions can I take today that are going to have people like me? What actions can I take today to measure up and to be worthy? So getting skinny was one of them. For 30 years, every single birthday from probably 6 years old, that candle on my cake in front of me, I blew it out with the wish, I wish I was skinny. Every single year until 2020. 2020 would have been the first year that I blew out that candle, and that was not my wish. So every year I was blowing out a candle believing I'm gross, I'm bad, I'm flawed, and I want to be fixed. And when I fix this, people will like me, I will achieve, I will be successful. I was seeking confidence from outside of me and not from inside of me. So whatever your flaw is, I want you to realize it's not real and it's not true. And I always say this, according to who? According to who? I got a perfect song for this later, guys. It's like the according to who song. They just use different language. But anyway, it's perfect. I found it this morning and we're gonna jam out to it later. So what do I believe about myself today? Now, many of you, as I read these things, your mind is gonna go, well, of course you do. You have millions of dollars. You have time and financial freedom. You work for yourself. You've released 120 pounds. You're super healthy now. You've got an amazing relationship now with the father of your children, and it's beautiful and wonderful. Of course you're happy. Of course you love yourself. No. Okay, I want you all to understand that the experience that I have in my outside world is the way that it is because I changed the feeling about me first. Okay, so I became these things in ideas in my mind first, and then my physical 3D world outside matched it. It's always a reflection. So now I do believe that I am beautiful. I believed I was beautiful at 320 pounds. In that intro video, you see a version of myself 2 years ago who was size 24, 320 pounds, who loved herself. I saw my curves as my biggest, greatest asset. I really, really believed that size doesn't mean nothing. Related to health, wealth, success, confidence, imprint on the world, it does not make a difference. So I do believe now that I am beautiful. I do believe that I am powerful. I believe that I am strong. I believe that I am empowered. I believe that I am thriving. I am loved. I am safe. I am secure. I believe that I am probably the most driven woman you'll ever meet. I used to be ashamed of that. I used to feel some kind of way about being so driven. I don't want to be so driven. I don't want you guys to think that I'm it's too much. Oh no. Like, I love being a driven woman. I think it is a superpower. I am never going to give up. I am going to persist until, and the more driven I am, the more I go after that drive towards my dreams and goals, I am giving everybody else permission to do it. This is what the number one thing that I hear from everybody is, that it gives other people permission to boldly, courageously, and in such a daring way, go for it. And when you've only got this one iteration right now in front of us, and you got like how many more to go? Who knows, infinite. You take it less serious. Like, let's go for it. Let's create the life of our dreams and be so driven in the process. So I am driven and I am proud. And I hope all of you, like, if you're somebody who is driven and motivated and wants more for themselves, I hope that you see that this is your superpower. It is a strength. And it's the dreamers that change the world. It's not the ones that are too scared to do anything. The ones that don't think they can make a difference, the ones that think that they're not good enough, the ones that are sitting at home too afraid to do anything. No, it's the dreamers that are changing the world. It's the ones that are bold and daring and going out there and doing it. And if you are somebody that is sitting at home and is scared to go outside and is feeling weak and is feeling less than, is feeling inferior, that's a lie. And I don't know why you fell for it. Well, I do, because I fell for it too for like 30 years. But the jig is up. There is a version in there that is so powerful, so magnetic, so strong, so bold. There is a light within you that shines so bright that it will literally screw up technology. If you let it shine, it will be so bright that you walk into a room and people are like, whoa, who is that? I want to be near them. I want to know them. People will be drawn to your light, but you first have to turn your light on. This book, The Best of Yourself, this training right now, this is a remembering. Do you understand that? This isn't about trying to become something you aren't. It's about remembering what you've always been. When we were born and we were little babies and toddlers, we were born with the belief that we could do anything, that we could have anything, that we were amazing. Over time, we learned we're a problem. We need fixing. We don't know enough. We're not good enough. We don't make enough money. We don't have enough degrees. Our skin color isn't the right color. Our body shape isn't the right size. We're too old. We don't have enough education. Blah, 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 blah. All of these things, they just were built upon us. It's the collective consciousness. It's the collective beliefs. Over time, the more we all believe in something, the more other people will believe in that something, and the more that something will become real, but it is not truth. It is not truth. You can be whoever you want and desire to be. So this version of me today, Kathleen, that sits in front of you, there's been many, many different iterations, and every iteration just becomes stronger and more powerful in my convictions, in my knowing. I always say this, that there is an infinite level of experiences for you to have. So if you're someone right now that can confidently say, you know what, I love myself today, I want to show you that there's a level of self-love that you've barely scratched the surface of. You've barely scratched the surface of. If you're sitting here today and you're telling me, yeah, I'm confident. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I want to show you that there is a level of confidence that you're not even aware of right now. There is a little level of gratitude, okay? Like, let's talk about gratitude. I always say I need a new word for it. I have gotten to this place in my life where the word gratitude doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about life. It doesn't even begin to describe it. It's like too small. I always say like I'm more than grateful. Like, I don't even know. I'll say like deep and profound gratitude, but like that doesn't even do it. Like there's no word. Chevalier gratitude. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. But what I mean by that is truly when you connect to an existence of yourself that is truly, truly seeing you for who and what you really are, it's peace. It's peace. And that is truly what we all seek. We are all seeking outside things to give us the very thing that can be found within. And will more money, more success, better friendships, better health, a nice new house and a nice new car bring you those things? Sure. Sure. But you can have that without all of those things. You can have this powerful sense of gratitude, thanks Shivali, without the material things. But I do want all of you to experience whatever it is that you want. And you're human, wants and longs for things. And I want to get you to that place where you don't necessarily need it, but that you want it, and then it'll come. Preference, not a requirement. And then guess what? You're living in your beach house in Malibu, California, living your best life sitting there with your daughters, walking the sunset every single day. That's the experience I'm calling in. And it's not from a place of like, I don't like my life or I don't desire it or it's not good enough. It's just that's the experience I want. And so I want all of you to have that experience you want. But I want you to understand why and how it comes from you and from who you are being. So what is identity? This is powerful. To understand now what identity is important. I'm going to get a little bit deep here with you and stay with me, please. I know a lot of you love how I keep things super simple, but I want you to understand that you are conditioned awareness. Conditioned awareness. So what that means is that you are not your body. You are not your mind. You are what is aware of your body and what is aware of your mind. Okay? So what that means is that as awareness, you are source energy, a soul, a spirit, whatever you want to say, right? So let's put it this way. The quote, I am strong. The I am in there, that's awareness. That's who you are. You are the great I am. Without anything after it. Without the conditioned awareness. Without the programming, without the words to follow. You just are. Right? You exist as. Just like the ocean exists as the ocean. Right? We look at it and we say, oh, that's so beautiful. Well, it's not beautiful, it just is. Our mind perceives it, says it's beautiful. But it just is, it just exists. So for us, how we exist truly is not as the physical form, but as the essence of who we are, which is spirit, source energy, soul, awareness, I am. So when we start to talk about identity then, I'm not talking about your soul. I'm talking about the idea of you that is held in the intellectual mind that has been programmed over time, the conditioning, so that's conditioned awareness, So when we take the idea and the concept of who we are in our mind and we pair it with the awareness of who we are, the I am, we then get I am strong. I am weak. I am lazy. I am motivated and driven. I am healthy. I am unhealthy. Right? So first, I want you to understand that you are source energy, you are spirit, you are awareness, you are a soul. That is the true essence of who you are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. So when we start to reconnect back into the human experience, then from a higher spiritual perspective, we are going to look at our identity for what it is, as just a pattern and a program in the mind. It's like the computer software that's running on the computer right now. Right now we're using Zoom. We're on a Zoom call, or maybe you're on the YouTube channel, but it's the software that's running right now. And so all of us have this conditioned awareness within the mind. So when you allow yourself from a higher spiritual perspective to go into the mind now and be like, oh, so what is the programming that's running right now? What is this identity that's going on? You can see it for what it really is. Not truth, but just habit. Just programs. It's beautiful. So I love to use the language identity or self-concept. I stopped using the word self-image, the words self-image, because what I found with self-image was that it was a picture or an image, which made me think body, which made me think looks like. But an idea in the intellectual mind isn't a picture. It's a concept. It's an identity. It's an idea, right? And the idea of you and who you think you are. So that's why I try to stay away from that language for myself. There's nothing wrong with it. But just for me, I just moved away from it because it just allowed me to see that what I'm actually talking about is a set of ideas, not a set of pictures. So the ideas then that are hanging around in the patterns and the programming, what I'm talking about are the specific ideas about yourself, right? So you have patterns, programs, ideas, belief systems, values that are stored in your intellectual mind, stored in your computer about everything, about the world, about your friends and family, about life in general, about the legal system, about politics. Like you've got a whole array of it about everything and anything. But what I want to specifically talk about, and the most important ones of those beliefs, are the ones that you hold about you. These are the key. Okay? Do the other ones matter? Yes, they certainly do. Because if you're looking at the world and you think it's a horrible place, and it's bad, and only bad things happen, and life sucks, that's going to be your experience. But oftentimes you think that from a belief within you, that life's been bad to you. But once you get out of victimhood, you realize that the life outside of you is a reflection of inside of you. And then people will say to me, oh, so you're telling me that I've asked for all the bad things that have happened to me in my life? Well, you probably didn't ask for them, but you did manifest them, yes. You inadvertently selected them, which means you didn't know. You didn't know any better. So forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you knew it. And now move into this higher level of awareness where now you know it. Now you understand it. So the identity or self-concept that you have currently programmed in the subconscious mind, it matters the most in this moment. Okay? It matters the most in this moment. The power of now. I am right now is what manifests. Not who I am tomorrow or who I'm going to be in 3 days. It's who you are in this moment right now that manifests. So today, I'm going to pull you into a process and a journey of figuring out, okay, who do I think I am right now? What's in there? What's the computer program that I have running right now? Then once we know what the computer programming is that you have running right now, then what we're going to do is we're going to override it with a new one. We're going to ask, okay, so if that one created this, then how am I going to reprogram a new one? So we're going to do that. But we're going to understand then that we're going to have to embody it. So I'm going to take you along 3 steps over these next 2 days. Number 1, to understand what is identity, what is the importance, why should you care about self-concept? That's what I'm talking about right now. Then I'm going to help you see that by expanding your awareness of yourself and the feeling of you, you can change it. And then number 3, we're going to embody the new one now. So that'll be tomorrow. So I know I'm telling you that now matters, but we're in a conscious process now of having understanding and awareness and moving it into the now. And then you must be. For those of you that have been in my programs for a little while, you've probably heard this language. You will not manifest what you are not conscious of being. What does conscious of being mean? This is beautiful, beautiful language. The best language I've ever heard about this. Conscious of being. The I am. I will be is a confirmation that I am not. I am is what you are conscious of being. So the moment that you're like, wait a minute, I am strong. Wait a minute, I am healthy. Wait a minute, I am powerful. Wait a minute, I am successful. The moment you have those awarenesses, that's when you shift. So what we're doing is we're going up to the greater I am. And from the I am and from the higher spiritual perspective, we're coming back in to observe the intellectual mind to see what do I have programmed in my subconscious mind right now today, right? I am legendary. She really is. I don't have my legend mug, Judy. I know it's in Toronto. I'm in Malibu. I guess you better send me another one from my Malibu mansion on the ocean. Uh-oh. I'll send you my Malibu address. I'll send you the address of the house I'm manifesting. How about that? And then when I get there, it'll be in the cupboard. Happy manifesting. Okay, beautiful. So self-concept and identity are the ideas that you have about you in your mind. I want to clarify something, and I'm going to ask you all a question. I want your honest answers, okay? Honest answers in the chat. Tell me who you are. Introduce yourself to me. If you were to introduce yourself to me in person, what would you say? Just give me a couple words to describe you. Not what you think I want to hear. Not what you think I want to hear. What you would actually do. Wife, mother, homemaker. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. I'm a director, female force, funny, beautiful, and fabulous. I'm an elite coach working for $1 billion company. I'm a woman wife. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So what I want you to see is that there is so many times in our lives where we will describe who we are based on our roles, right? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a teacher, I'm a podcast host, I'm an author. Okay, great. And then people will describe who we are based on the accomplishments that we've had in our lives. I'm a best-selling author. I have a top 100 podcast. You know, I'm like the number one salesperson at my car place that I sell cars in. La, 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 right? And so what we're doing is we're describing who we are based on what society says is part of our identity of who we are. And I differentiate things in 2 different ways, right? So when we say that I am a manifestation teacher, that is not an identity or self-concept of me. That's what I do. It's a way in which I serve. It's a passion of mine. It's a way that I spend my days. It's maybe my zone of genius. But I am not necessarily a teacher. I am a woman that loves fiercely and passionately and who is being guided by source energy to deliver this work to the world in a powerful way. But the roles that I take, or the responsibilities that I hold, or the accomplishments that I've had are not the identity and the self-concepts that I want to shift. I want to actually shift the concepts and the self-identity that will allow me to become something greater than I am. So for example, I call them like the goals that I have in my life, or the accomplishments, or the accolades, the recognitions, the certificates, the degrees. Those are all great things, and we should be absolutely proud of them. But I want to go deeper though. And I want to ask the question, okay, so what about you led you? What identity or self-concept led you to being a best-selling author? What self-confidence and identity led you to speaking on stage in front of 10,000 people? What identity led you to be the #1 salesperson at your place of employment? That is the deeper underlying identity that I want all of us to understand. So for me, I have multiple degrees. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and I have a master's degree. And wouldn't you know it, I just set myself a goal. Oh God, am I going to say it out loud? Yeah. Oh no, you guys are going to hold it to me. I had this thing come through. Wouldn't it be so cool if, with this awareness of who I am today, and with all of this spirituality and coming from the higher spiritual perspective, and really like, I've really left like the science world, wouldn't it be so cool for me to do a PhD in manifestation and do my dissertation on manifestation, spirituality meets peak performance, and actually go back into academia and actually prove all of this through a dissertation? Wow. Right? Anyways, but the part the whole reason that I'm saying this is like, what part of me, Kathleen, had me do multiple degrees, get those degrees, be successful at those degrees, right? What led me to that? What consciousness within me? What identity did that? I'm a lifelong learner. I persist. I complete things. I get things done. I say I complete what I say I'm going to do, right? That I love to grow and I love to learn. So those were self-concepts and identities within myself that led to the completion of degrees. But I'm not my degrees, right? This is what I want us to understand. I'm not the house that I live in. I'm not the car that I drive. I'm not the amount of money that I have in my bank account. All of those things reflect the identity and the self-concepts within me. So Kathleen Cameron, who did exist in a 320-pound body 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, who loved herself, she had identity and self-concept beliefs, ideas in her mind that led to that physical body. I manifested it. I believed I hated working out. I believed that I loved sugar. I believed that I was an emotional eater. I believed that I was lazy. I believed that I hated salad and vegetables. Right? So the beliefs that I had about me, they kept me in that body. I didn't go on a diet. I didn't go and lose weight. I didn't have surgery. I didn't take a whole bunch of medications. I didn't make a decision to change my behavior and get skinny. What I did is I went into my intellectual mind and I said, what of these beliefs about me are true and real? And which ones are limiting me and are keeping me in that state? And what would be the better beliefs to have? So I convinced myself that I love to walk every day. I convinced myself that I love working out. I convinced myself that I love eating nutritious and healthy food. I told myself I love salads. I convinced myself I'm healthy. I believed I was unhealthy, so then I naturally did unhealthy things. I no longer believe that I eat my emotions. I'm not an emotional eater. If I get stressed, I go for a walk. I don't eat donuts. I don't believe that I have a problem with sugar anymore. I don't believe I'm a drinker. Right? So something that you are convinced of, I use that language, the word convinced, because what you are convinced of is your truth in your mind. I'm convinced. You can't tell me otherwise. So I was convinced I was fat, lazy, unhealthy, unattractive. So I lived from that convinced state. So I just used the other way. I said, oh, wait a minute. No. I'm going to convince myself of the opposite. I'm going to convince myself I love to walk and I love to exercise and I love healthy food and I love a good night's sleep. And so when I convinced myself of those truths, I naturally just behave from this way. Naturally just behave from this way. So now I don't have to try to force myself through motivation. People used to say to me, because I've lost a lot of weight in my lifetime and gain it back, lose, gain, because I wasn't changing the identity. I was just changing like momentary behavior for a goal or gain. So I'm going to go work out 5 days a week. So I lose 50 pounds. And then when the 50 pounds are gone, I go right back to the old belief that I'm lazy and don't like working out. And then the 50 pounds comes back. Real shocker. Wow. It's the same thing with money. You go and you work really, really hard. You hustle and you grind. You work 15-hour days. You're like, that's it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to double my income this month. And so you double the amount of work that you put in. You hustle really, really hard. You get less sleep. You eat less. And then you double your income. And you're like, yeah, I did it. Woohoo, this is amazing. And then the next month you're exhausted and you're tired and you're like, well, I can't keep this up. So you go right back to the income you were at before, because that's where you're programmed. So this is why we want to program a new belief that you don't have to work harder and you don't have to work more, but that if you change the identity and you change the magnet and what you're attracting, you will attract more money, you will attract more sales, you will attract more relationships and friendships and business opportunities based on who you believe you are, not the actions that you take, right? But we always go back to what we are programmed. So I ask the question, who do I think I am? Like, who do you think you are? One of the best questions to ever get asked. Who do I think I am? Ask yourself that. Because who you think you are today, notice my language, who you think you are, not who you are. Who do you think you are? That's totally different. Do you feel the difference there? Because if you believe that you are that way and it cannot be changed and you were born like that and it's your personality, it's set in stone. But when you realize, you step outside of it and you go, oh shit, I didn't have to believe that. That didn't have to be true. Oh my gosh, I fell for it. I believed you. So those little kids who learned somewhere to call me fat and that fat was wrong and bad, those little kids that came at me that day, that first time, and it hurt my feelings, and I said, oh wow, it must be true. I'm fat and flawed and broken and not good. Nobody's going to like me. I believed it, became my truth. Existed from that truth for 30 years. Until I said, no, I'm not believing that at all anymore. Even the belief that in order to be successful that you have to work out and exercise. Listen, not many coaches are going to tell you this. You don't have to work out to make millions of dollars. You don't have to be skinny. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to walk. You don't have to have a personal trainer. You don't. Like, you can never exercise and be very wealthy. You can. It's true. That's what I did. I made the decision. I'm not going to try to get skinny. I'm not going to try to change my body. I'm going to love myself in the body that I'm in right now, and I'm going to create tons of success, and I did it. The problem is, from a higher level of awareness, from where I sit today, I'm like, oh wow, I have all this money. I have all this success. I have all of these friendships and these amazing experiences. And now my body's like, hold on, how are we going to make it to 100 if we're not taking care of the vessel? So I wasn't giving my car the oil changes and cleaning it and putting in the right gas. I was letting my car fall apart. So now I understand it through the wholeness of who I am, that now if I exercise regularly and I eat beautiful foods and I nourish my body and I sleep well and blah, 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 I can be successful and healthy. I can be wealthy and healthy, right? But I don't want anybody to feel that you have to, in order for you to make the money that you want to make, that you have to work out at 4:30 in the morning every day. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want to be successful. You can create your life of your dreams. But I want you to love yourself so much that you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I want to work out. I don't believe health is wealth. I know, I have some beliefs that are quite shocking. Some people are like, huh? Health and wealth are two different things. Health is the health of your vessel. Wealth is wealth, financial wealth, money in your bank account. They're two different things and they can coexist separate of one another. Is there any billionaires out there that have lived to 80 or 90 years old and not have perfect fit bodies and work out 5 days a week? Yes. There's people with chronic illnesses that have tons and tons of money. They are separate from one another. But what I want everybody to understand is that we can create the experience that we want in our life. And why wouldn't you want to be healthy and wealthy? Right? You want to be healthy and wealthy. You can be healthy and have no left arm. Right? Like, I do see them as two different experiences. We can also be wealthy and hate ourselves. We can also be wealthy and be very angry. Like, there's so many different ways of experiencing this life, and all I'm doing is shaking up your model. I'm loosening the model. I'm loosening the beliefs that you have in your mind about who you are and what you believe is true for you to create beliefs that serve you. So these beliefs that I'm sharing, they serve me. If I say health is wealth, and I believe that I have to be healthy in order to be wealthy, then the day that I don't exercise, or the week that gets too busy and I don't exercise, or the days that I have a cold or I have the flu, or what if I get COVID one day, then I'm like, oh no, I can't be wealthy because I'm not healthy in this moment. No. I can be the healthiest version of myself and I can be the wealthiest, and they can be completely separate experiences. People, the way in which most say that is they're saying that health is more important than wealth. I think that's what they're trying to say, because if you don't have your health and you have your wealth, you actually don't have your wealth because you don't have your health. So if your health deteriorates and you don't have your physical vessel, who cares if you have $10 million in your bank account? So what they're in fact saying is, in the order of prioritization of our lives, let's focus on our health first, make it a priority so that as we make the millions of dollars, we're here to last. Yes, wonderful. But to say that health is wealth, I don't know. Not in my belief system. I just changed it. So believe whatever you want to believe. You never have to exercise to be healthy either. You don't. I believe you, Garrett. I'm with you on that one. You can be healthy and not do many of the things that the modern world tells you that you have to do. So right now we're in a huge kick where everybody's saying that you have to lift weights. Well, according to who? You could live a very healthy life, wealthy life, and never lift weights if you don't want to. Is it beneficial? Is it a good thing? Some people say so. Some people say so. I have made the decision in my life that I am never, ever going to track calories. I am never going to track macros. I am never going to monitor and track my food. I just want to live. For 30 years, I did that. I tracked it. I measured it. I weighed it. I measured my body. I weighed my body. It was like these numbers were validating me. I just want to live. I just want to eat what I intuitively feel like eating today. And I want to move the way I feel like moving today. Like, that's freedom, truly. So we can talk about science and experts and what they say, but what I want you to understand is that it's whatever you want to believe. Whatever you believe to be true will be your truth. Okay, now that I've talked a lot about what identity and self-concept is, I want you to hear from somebody that is going to share with you a little bit about their identity shift. We've been working together. I don't know how long. I'll have to bring her up so I can ask her that. But she's had a major shift in identity, and she's acted upon the shift in identity. And now her outside world is completely different. Is Deepika on? I think I saw her on here.
I'm here.
Oh, did you get settled in like a really safe place?
Totally safe and ready to talk.
Oh my gosh, you look so beautiful. So Deepika's in Mexico City. She's doing the launch of her Spanish version of her book, Hello Universe, It's Me. She's on a press tour in Junket. She is in the middle of doing some really big things. So thank you for giving us this time.
Thank you for having me. I wanted to be here. I'm inside of a wish fulfilled, and I want everybody on this call to see what that looks like.
Yeah, she does look so beautiful, doesn't she? Oh my gosh. And you can feel your aura, your vibration. We can feel the energy that you're in right now. It's very, very beautiful. So we've been working together, Deepika, how long? Like over a year?
Almost, I think January is 2 years since I joined Millionaire. So
Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Time really flies when you're having fun. And you've had a huge identity shift. So I know there's so much that we can talk about. I know we don't have all day, but why don't you just explain to people from the beginning where you were at and what the identity was when we first connected and what that felt like for you?
I was really tied to my corporate identity back then. So when I joined Millionaire 2 years ago, this coming January, I was very much still in my corporate world, and I loved my corporate identity. I'm not hating on corporate world. I'm not hating on my successes in Silicon Valley and the things that I did. I was wildly successful at that. I was a Silicon Valley woman of influence. I'd spoken on the New York Stock Exchange. That identity had served me really well for a huge part of my life, and I am grateful for that version of me. When we meet, I had already written Hello Universe, It's Me. It was already in the world. I was already coaching people and doing a lot of different corporate workshops, different things like that as well. But what I didn't know is, could I make this version of myself, who is this book, is this persona, could she be all of me all the time? And I think those were the questions on my mind when I started with you, Kathleen.
Yeah, I love this so much because I often think about this with the nursing career that I had before this, right? So as long as you stay in the identity, so if I had stayed in the identity of being a nurse, and for you, being a corporate executive, is that probably the best way to say it? As long as you had stayed in that identity, it still held a part of you and it held a piece of you. And it was like focused attention was still going over there. So releasing the nurse identity, it really catapulted me into the next one. And I know when we first started working together, we had said, okay, when are we releasing this like corporate identity? And at the beginning, you couldn't actually really see when. I could feel that in you. It was like, oh, I don't know. So what made you finally do that? Like, what was the shift that made you finally leave that?
Well, look, for so many years, I was manifesting that both things could beautifully coexist, that my creative world and my professional Silicon Valley world could live together. And guess what? They were living together, right? But I think there just hits a point where the other identity is wanting to take hold, right? It's wanting to be more. And every indication was that this is something, this is something, this is something. And you just start to believe that, okay, I'll do a little bit more of my Hello Universe, It's Me world, a little more of my coaching world. And as that started to shift, I could just see that this identity, the corporate identity, wasn't fitting anymore. It was beautiful. It was great. It was excellent, but there was more out there for me. And I think the key was not even realizing that the identity, I think for me, the identity was formulating and I was giving it permission to formulate, but I also think it was accepting that I really wanted to go all the way into that identity. And I think the identity got all the beautiful, watering and everything that you do to a plant to be like, okay, no, really, we're ready. Now you can let that go. And that's how it worked for me. So,
yeah, well, I think about it this way too. I remember at the beginning, you and I talking, and you'd be like, well, yeah, I think, there's this place where I could maybe do both. And I'm like, but is that Is that really what you want to do? And I think so many people, they don't have the awareness that sometimes we hang on to the old out of the fear that the new one might not fully take hold. And so it becomes a backup plan. It becomes a just in case. And letting go of the just in case is a powerful decision maker.
Well, but I was tied to that identity. I spent my entire life creating that identity, getting good grades at school, going to a great college, getting great jobs, getting promoted at those jobs, doing them over and over and over again all the years.
Yeah.
I was attached to the identity of a married woman, right? That to be happy and to be successful, I had to also have the husband and have the house and have the cars and have the purses and have the blah, 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 and like live this whole very complicated, very exhausting life. That was success. That's the way it was. But I think for me, it was letting go of that identity that I had been so tied to for so long to say, wait a second, can't I also be wildly successful with books and with speaking and with everything else? And right now I am in Mexico City, having accepted that identity inside of a wish fulfilled, where I am doing radio interviews and TV interviews. And there are journalists coming in and out of my suite to come meet me. And I'm hosting an event tonight. There's an event tomorrow. And everyone's like, you're so Mexican. I'm like, okay, I'm Mexican. Here I am. They introduced me as a personal development guru. I'm taking that identity. I will take it. But here's the thing. I had to be in the mode that I was willing to receive what was happening. I was creating the identity. But then the universe says, come on, let's go. Let's go do this.
Yes, because the universe always responds to you, right? So when we go into something in that all in energy, like here we go, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm going to really, really enter it and fully, I always say like jump into the pool. Don't dip your toes, but like jump fully into the pool. The universe is like, oh, Deepika's serious. And then all of these things start to show up. I love it so much. One of the things that you always do is you always send me messages of how it feels to now be in the experience of the wish fulfilled. And that's part of why I wanted you to share. For those that are, kind of skeptical and they're dipping their toes in a little bit, they haven't fully gone into the new identity. What does it feel like to embody the new identity and then exist in the reality of it now? So you are literally living in a dream state now in the physical 3D world. How does it feel?
It feels aligned. It feels like it was meant to be. I didn't realize till I got here, my head of my team said to me, Deepika, is this actually the first time you've done a TV interview or a radio interview? And I looked at her and I go, yeah. I go, but it felt like I had done them millions of times, right? So I feel like I entered the frequency that I meant to be operating on. Everything the words they're using to describe me, the situations I'm in here, the TV people, everything, it just feels like, of course, this is what I'm doing. It's like my future self says, oh my God, we're so happy you are here. And I think that's what will happen to everybody on the call when you work with Kathleen, when you work with this team. Your future self is like cheering for you, like, oh yes, she finally got it. Okay, let's do it. I think for me, I'm at the frequency that I'm meant to be on, but the frequency feels natural. It doesn't feel unnatural. Does that mean there's not scary moments here and there? Like, whoa, oh my God, did that just happen? Yes, every now and then there's that. But then I think of my Kathleen in my head who says things like, of course that happened. So
I know whenever you message me and you tell me, I'm like, oh yeah, I knew it, of course, like makes sense. Because oftentimes I think we see for others what we aren't willing to see for ourselves oftentimes, and we will accept beliefs about like greatness for other people and doubt it for ourselves. And so I try to take that same knowing and faith that I have in you and some of the other like inner circle members or one-on-one clients, and I'm like, I'm going to give myself that same faith today. I'm going to give myself that same knowing today. Deepika and I also, what's so beautiful, yes, she did have to resign from her corporate career and retired. Oh, I love this language. She retired from her corporate career and now she is the successful owner of a, what do you call it? I'll let you call it.
I now am the CEO of my own publishing company. It is called Soul Sparks Press, and I am on a mission to spark souls worldwide with sweepingly inspirational stories. All those stories about our own lives that are in our hearts, just imagine bringing them to the world and what that can do for other people. And I'm so honored. I've got 34 authors working with me right now. And actually the backstory is a little bit important because I never set out and dreamed to be a publisher. I definitely dreamt to be a writer. I definitely dreamt to be on TV. I definitely want to be in movies. Like there are some dreams out there that are coming to fruition, but I never set out to be a publisher. And this is what I want everyone to know. The universe can see bigger for you than you can ever see for yourself. This community knows Eric Bigger, Kathleen's trainer, my trainer. We talk about books and things all the time. And one day I said to him, I go, you got to write a book. And he turned to me and said, if you write it with me, I'll do it. I said, let's go. And boom, boom, boom. From there, 34 people, word of mouth, just traveled. And so honored, so excited to have this company now where we are sparking souls with stories. And we're on track to release a book every month of 2025. And it is now fully in my purpose, right? I didn't see this for myself, but it landed and I was able to receive it. And it is phenomenal.
Yeah. And what's so beautiful, Deepika, about this is like the identity was created, you know, this entrepreneur, this mogul, this these beliefs about yourself, the power, the influence, all of that was created in identity first, and then the path revealed itself. Soul Sparks Press came through when the identity was created. And so I think some people want to create the identity and know what the how is going to be in the identity. Like, I'm going to become a multimillionaire through this company, through selling this product in this way. But I want us to surrender that it's actually not about the how, but it's actually about the identity and the who. And then that how reveals itself, that pathway always reveals. And you're just such a beautiful example of it. I want to tell them too, that I actually signed contracts with Deepika as well. And so not only is she one of my one-on-one clients and a member of my inner circle, but now I'm one of her clients. And so we're recording the audiobook of The Best of Yourself next week or the week after.
I think so. I go wherever my team tells me to.
Yes, I think, me too. I think it's in 2 weeks.
But it's coming up, and you are the first audiobook from Soul Sparks Press, which is super exciting. So we can't wait to bring more audiobooks to life too. And yeah, and an honor to have Kathleen Cameron amongst our authors. And honestly, when you hear the suite of authors that we're working with, it just blow your mind. This is next level stuff, and it's beautiful. So
this is the power of manifestation and identity. So please go follow Deepika, send her some beautiful love as she's on her press tour in Mexico City releasing her book. And just know that anything that you are seeing here, anything that's resonating with you, any feeling that, oh, I want that for me, that's the real you coming through right now. It's like coming through going like, oh, I want to be sitting there and I want to say this one day. That's you. That's the real you. Deepika.
I've been all of you, doubting myself, questioning myself. Why am I not happy about this? You have everything. Why are you acting like it's nothing? Yeah. All of it. So give yourself permission to say yes to yourself. And if there's that little spark within you that's like, I want this too, honor it. Go for it.
Yeah. Honor it. I love that. Honor it. I think that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful light with us. I'm so grateful for you, so proud of you, and I cannot wait to watch what is going to happen in the next few years here. We're going to be telling this story on some big stage or something. I can just feel this. Thank you, Deepika. Appreciate you. Grateful for you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Guys, I'm working with some pretty impressive people, aren't I? I know. This is a reflection of identity. So when I first started this work, and I truly was somebody that wanted to serve and wanted to help people, I actually wrote out the type of people I wanted to support and serve and the type of influence I wanted to be able to have. And I saw myself working with people that are doing big things in the world like this. But I had to see myself of being worthy of working with people like this. I want you all to understand that it's all intentional, it's all conscious, and it's all decisions that I made from different levels of identity. Now I want to talk about, we have about 30 minutes. So I want to talk about the feeling of you and why this is so important before we do the scholarship. So I'm going to end with the scholarship award today, and we're going to end with a song. But I want us to, and this is an awareness that I did not have for the first 2 years. Okay. So for the first 2 years, I started to work on identity and self-concept and move into the understanding and knowing that what I believed about myself, the ideas I held in my mind were important, etc. But I started to feel like something was missing. A very powerful, important piece of identity work that not a lot of people were talking about. And I started talking about identity is a vibration. The identity that you hold about yourself is a vibration, which means it has a feeling. And then one day I was reading Neville, and he says in one of his books, just nonchalantly, once in the book, he says the emotional conception of self. So the concept of self, the idea in the mind, the concept is powerful, but there's an emotional concept of self, which means that idea that you have in the mind, it has a feeling. It has a corresponding feeling. So the feeling of you is essentially what's manifesting, right? So what did it feel like to be Kathleen back in 2018, 2019? Didn't feel too good. Didn't feel too exciting. Didn't feel too lit up. Felt kind of sad. Felt kind of low vibrational. Felt kind of complacent. Just felt kind of like, I'm here, I'm existing. Doesn't really matter too much if I'm here or not, type of thing. How does it feel to be me now? It feels very powerful. I feel proud. I feel accomplished. I feel excited. I feel joyful. I feel energetic. I feel motivated. I feel on fire. I feel like my soul is on fire. I feel faith. I feel love. I feel so much hope. I feel so much passion every day. See how it feels different to be me now than who I used to feel like I was. So when I ask the question, who do I think I am? That's your homework, by the way. Like, who do you think you are? That's your homework. Who do I think I am? But then what does it feel like to be you? What does it feel like to be you? I want to show you a little something, a little example. This happened at my inner circle. And Jose, a beautiful member of my circle, asked me a question. And I gave him a little example, and I want to share it with you today because I think this is an important example to witness. So he said to me, Kathleen, what does it feel like to love yourself? I said, okay, here we go. Let me tell you about my daughters for a minute. And I know you're like, what do you mean? Like, we just asked you about like loving yourself. Why are you talking about your kids? Hold on, just stay with me. So I have two daughters, Mason and Reagan. They're 10 and 12. They are the most beautiful, special, passionate little girls that I have ever met in my life. I love them so much. Like, thinking about them just makes me want to smile. It makes me want to tear up. They are incredible souls, and I cannot get enough of them. I just want to be around them. I just want to talk about them. I just want to exist next to my girls as much as I can. That's how I feel about me. Did you feel that? So I just told you how much I love them and how special they are and how amazing they are and how I can't get enough of them. And I'm so proud of them and I want to be with them in every moment. That's how I feel about me. So self-love is truly to be in a place where you're like, you know that Kathleen woman? She's amazing. I love her. She is so special. She is such a bright light. She's persistent. She's disciplined. She keeps showing up. She never gives up. She loves people because love is what she is. She is so beautiful. Like, that's how I feel about me. I truly would recommend myself to you. I would truly sit here and say, yes, I love her. That is self-love. That is the feeling of what it is like to love yourself. To truly believe that you are incredible and you are special and that you believe you are worth all of the amazing things in life. We have this like crazy little thing that happens where we say that people have a big head or they have a big ego. Oh, that person is full of themselves. Is that really what we're saying? Are we really saying that this person loves themselves too much, that it's so disgusting that we have to tell them to stop? No. What we're actually saying is that this person does not love themselves and is seeking external validation and is making it appear like they love themselves when in fact they don't. There's a difference, right? So when you love yourself authentically and genuinely for who you are, you see your bright light. You see that you are a spirit, that you are source energy. You're a light. You're incredible. When you see that authentically, you also see that you're not better than anyone else, that you aren't above anyone else. You stop judging yourself and you stop judging others. You get off your high horse and you humble yourself and realize that we are all one. We are all one. All of us. Anything I can do, every single one of you can do. Any level of love, gratitude, joy I experience, any one of you can experience that experience because I'm experiencing it. And we're all one, which means you can experience it. I do not think that I'm better than anyone. No matter how many followers I have, how much money I make, no matter what my lifestyle is like, what my body looks like, none of that makes me better than anybody else. So every single day, it's about knowing that all of us are here for the betterment of each other. When I help every single one of you become better, I become better by helping you become better. Right? So you can't think you're less than either though, right? Like I don't think I'm better than, but I also don't think I'm less than. We're all the same. We're all one. Judgment is the biggest thing that will keep you in your human. It will keep you in your human experience, judgment. If you want to elevate to a higher spiritual awareness, move out of judgment. Stop judging yourself, stop judging others, and stop judging the world. Observe without judgment. Things happen in life, they just happen, they just are. Your ability to observe and leave it at that changes everything. So let's say last month, you did not make the money you wanted to make. Last month, your business didn't grow like you had planned for it to grow. Last month, you didn't work out as many days as you had said you would. Last month, maybe you didn't submit that paper you were supposed to write for school. What's going to determine what happens next is how you react to last month. So if you're looking at last month in judgment, I didn't do it. I didn't follow through. I failed. I wasn't good enough. You're mad at yourself. You're frustrated. You're upset. You're in judgment. So what happens is you move today in this physical world in a state of judgment for yourself. And when you're in a state of judgment for yourself, are you in a state of love for yourself? No. A loving perspective is what takes you closer to God because love is God. So when you can have a loving perspective for yourself, not a judgmental perspective, a loving perspective for yourself, you move yourself into that higher spiritual perspective. This is one of the biggest shifts from your program I've experienced. Observe without judgment. Observing without judgment changes your whole human experience. You want to create your own reality? Do that. Observe without judgment. Yeah. But do you see how truly a loving perspective, especially for yourself, to love yourself unconditionally, guys, unconditionally. This does not mean that I'm going to love myself only if I make the money. I'm going to love myself only if I eat healthy today. I'm going to love myself only if I get that award. I'm going to love myself only if I'm a bestseller. I'm going to love myself if so-and-so wants to date me. I'm only going to love myself if blah, 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 blah. No. Right? So God is love. God is love. What is God not? Fear, worry, doubt, judgment. That is not my belief. So the closer that you can energetically match source energy's energy, vibration, the closer you are to it. That's why gratitude connects you to God immediately. Because it's a loving perspective. It's not judgment, right? So the more that you can move into a loving perspective for yourself and for others, the closer you are to source energy, the more you are controlling it, the more you are directing it through your thoughts, through your feelings, through your actions. God is love. So anytime I feel my human come up, so my human, she worries sometimes, she has some doubts sometimes, she gets offended sometimes. What do I do about that? I remind myself of who and what I am, and I move into love. How can I have a loving perspective about this? How can I have a loving perspective about this? To understand that every single reaction to life is telling you where to grow. That's it. Don't get all mad. Get aware and move into love. Love without judgment. So unconditional love then is the state that I want all of you to be in. So what are the conditions that you've placed upon yourself for love? What are the conditions that you've placed upon yourself for love, for your own love? Right? So let's look at it this way. And I'm going to use the husband example. Sorry, guys. But it is a very, very common thing where a woman will complain about her husband. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. What are we doing? We're complaining about our unmet expectations of someone outside of us. Right? So when we are getting displeased with our husbands, does that make our relationships flourish and grow? Does that make us stronger? Does the love and the passion grow between us the more we bitch and moan about our husbands? Oh no, they feel it. They might not want to talk about it, but they feel it. So we're creating this like discord, right? Well, we're doing the same thing about others, like with ourselves, sorry, right? So I'm all mad at myself, disappointed in myself, not meeting my own expectations, right? And so then I'm not loving myself unconditionally. I'm mad at myself. I'm complaining about myself. So what am I doing to my relationship with myself? I'm withholding love from myself. Why? So there might be some self-forgiveness in there, right? So you might need to forgive yourself for some things. But to release the judgment and allow yourself to love yourself. Because self-love is what we're actually wanting. And if you love yourself fully, you no longer need external validation. You don't need fame. You don't need success. You don't need wealth. You don't need a spouse. And guess what? Once you get to that state, that worthy state, that self-love state, that whole state, everything comes to you so fast, guys. Everything. You'll have all this money coming to you, all this business success, all these people want to be your friends, all these men want to date you. Oh man, it's a lot, but it's wonderful because you turn your magnet on, because you no longer need for an experience. You are that experience. So the more I experience love in my heart for myself, the more I experience love outside of me too. It's really, really beautiful. So perhaps some forgiveness, allow more love in, release the judgment, judging yourself for things, and move to that place of self-love. There is a YouTube video that I have that is on here. Jen, I don't know how quickly you can find this, but it is a mirror work audio saying beautiful statements to yourself. We recorded this a couple of years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. It's I am affirmations. I would suggest that you find that. So if you go to the YouTube channel and I think you put in Kathleen Cameron, I am affirmations, you'll hear it. It's set to beautiful music. And that might be a beautiful way to begin the healing journey in front of the mirror and have a conversation with yourself. So Kathy's done them. Good. It's on there. It's a beautiful one. I think it's about 5 minutes. Oh, there we go. Casey posted it. I am affirmation on the YouTube channel. So go in and watch that tonight. But for the homework tonight, I really, really want you to ask the question, who do I think I am? And every single person that's on this call, if you're in Millionaire, if you're in Modern Mentor, if you're in my inner circle, if you're on my team, every single person, I want you to journal this moment right now. Who do I think I am? Not who am I manifesting being or what identity am I trying to become in this moment. I want you to go to the awareness of who, in fact, do I think I am right now today? This is an awareness. And then when you've done that and you've written it all out, so the good, the bad, the ugly. So if there's some strengths in there and some beautiful things about yourself that you that come up, write them all out. But if there's some limitations in there, let them come out. This is what we want to do. We want to be really, 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 really honest. Let it come out. And then sit back and look at it and ask yourself, what does it feel like to be me today? What does it feel like to be me today? Right? The feeling of you manifests. So I want to use a quick little example. Many people don't believe that they wouldn't have a conscious awareness that they believe that they're unsuccessful, but they don't quite embody the belief that they are successful. And so successful is a really great word because who decides if you're successful or not? You do. Now, the old me used to think that it was the world that decided that. So the old me was like, oh, I'll be successful when I get an award, when I have the followers, when I have the accolades, when maybe I'm on the cover of the magazine, or when I have the degree, or I'll be successful when people like me, when people trust me, that people want to work with me. I'll be successful when I get the likes and the comments on my posts, blah, blah, blah. So I used to think the idea of success came from the outside world. Also, when I have the car and when I have the house and when I have the job and when I fly on the private jet, then I'll be successful. I'll feel successful, right? This is the old way I used to see this. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but I've had the awareness since. So now I understand that the idea of success actually just comes from me. And when I keep trying to seek it from outside of me and I keep trying to get the validation from other people, I'm always feeling like I'm not successful. So I thought to myself one day, okay, I don't think I'm a failure, but I don't think I'm successful yet, or as successful as I could be. And if you always believe that you aren't as successful as you could be, are you manifesting as successful as you could be? No. You're manifesting an experience below that. So you're going to stay at this like mediocre, moderate success. So I decided I'm going to believe that I'm wildly successful. Wildly successful. Like, this is it. Success is who I am. Success is the perfume that I walk around wearing every day. I'm a winner. I win at everything I do. Somebody once said to me, they're God's favorite. And I went, oh, that is such a good belief to have. But guess what? We're all God's favorite. And the reason that he believes he's God's favorite and benefits from being a favorite is because he believes he's the favorite. That's it. He decided he's the favorite, so he gets the favoritism. So all of us can believe that, right? So I'm wildly successful. I win at everything I do. Everything works out for me in every single way. I am like magical. When I started to believe that, everything started to come to me. So when you're asking the question, who do I think I am? Are you that girl or that guy? Not that your outside world says it, but that you believe it about you. Remember, belief precedes manifestation every time. You must know it to be true before you observe it. You must know it to be true before you observe it. So I convinced myself I'm a millionaire, the millions came. Then I convinced myself I'm a multimillionaire, multi-millions came. I've convinced myself I'm a billionaire. I had a manifestation where one of my investments went from 1.5 million to 6 million, like that. Boom. Because of the identity. The identity of multimillionaire Kathleen would have never even made this investment. I had to step into the billionaire identity to make this investment, to now see a 4x in my investment, just like that. And we're expecting another double very, very quickly. So when I tell you that this identity work works, I want you to believe me. And you guys are observing it right before your eyes. If you want to really go back, maybe I'll do this on my stories today if I feel called at the time. If you want to really go back and observe, I want you to go back and look at Kathleen Cameron from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and today. I look completely different, completely different. And it's not even about weight loss. My eyes are different. The light coming from in behind my eyes is a completely different light. The way in which I smile is different. The way in which I speak is different. My jawline is different. My mouth is completely different. I've had no plastic surgery. Like, I look completely different. People will even say, you're aging backwards. And I say, I'm becoming young. I'm Benjamin Button. I'm 42, but like, I feel like I'm turning 39. What's happening there? It's identity work. It's self-concept work. It truly is. It's the inner work that's reflecting now on the outside world, right? And so it's very, very powerful to observe, but you're seeing my inner transformation on the outside. And that's why I'm saying to go do it. I don't want you to look at it like you've got to go and do many of the things that I've done, but I want you to see that these transformations, they happen inside first and then outside. So my outer world looks different. My outer world looks different. What I'm looking at looks different. Different people in my life, different experiences. My bank account looks different. My business looks different. The people that I have in my life are different. Where I get to go and all that stuff. I don't commute to work anymore. I don't sit at a job all day. I have so much time and financial freedom because of the woman that I decided to become. And that's what I want all of you to see, that this is a decision to become a different version of you. So tonight, I want you to sit down with yourself and answer the question of who do I think I am in this present moment, and get super, super honest about it. No judgment. Give yourself compassion and grace, and bring with you tomorrow the list of things that you have. But I want you to be super clear on identifying language that can describe how it feels to be the current you. How it feels to be the current you. and for some of you that have been in this work for a long time with me, or you're in a course or you're in a program, you're probably going to want to say all positive things. I've trained you to see the good. I've trained you to really see the positive. I've trained you to feel really good, right? But I want you to really find, if you can, something that limits you. What are the times in your life where it doesn't feel good to be you? Where could you feel even better? I remember, Katie, I hope you don't mind. We were in Miami and we were on our team retreat. Katie's on my team. And Katie is such a beautiful, happy spirit and light. So beautiful and so happy. She exudes happiness. When you're with her, you feel happy. But in that moment we were talking, I'm thinking, how can Katie elevate even more? How can Katie step one level up and tap in? And I said, Katie, I want you to be happy, but I want you to feel powerful, not just happy. Feel the difference between feeling happy and feeling powerful in addition to happy? So if you're someone that's been doing this work for a while and you're in it, I want you to ask, what is another extension or elevation in a way that I can show up? Maybe it's being more influential. Maybe it's being more powerful. Maybe it's being happier than you've ever been before. Maybe it's being more at peace. Maybe it's a level of faith and confidence that you've never had before. Maybe it's loving yourself just greater than you do now. So if you believe you love yourself today, how could you feel it even more? So I want everybody to be able to pull something. It's in the moments where we are pulled down in our vibration that the greatest awarenesses are. So if you're in a high vibe 24/7 and you're always thinking positive and nothing bad ever happens and there's no contrast in your life, how can you grow? So when I experience things like frustrations or anger or disagreements or conflict, or my feelings get hurt or something like that, I'm always like, ooh, there she is. Great. This is awareness. This is learning. This is growth. So what in me is activated right now? And it's just area for growth. So pay attention to those times. Those are some of the best times. Okay, let me make sure the team doesn't need me to do anything. Oh, I got to do the scholarship. Okay, so we're going to award a scholarship. So the Diamond Academy Scholarship is a program that we created a few months ago. And the reason that we created this program is because our courses and our programs in Diamond Academy, not House of Manifestation, but in Diamond Academy, are higher ticket offers. So what that means is that they're $10,000 plus. We have some that are a little bit less, but for the most part, they're 10,000 and more. They are high level, executive level self-mentorship programs. So they're similar to like a university degree, right? So not everyone has the capacity. And so when I'm thinking about becoming an educational institution, a non-conventional educational institution, it's the University of You, I thought, well, we should have awards. We should have scholarships for those that don't have the capacity or the means to come to our college or university here to be able to do that. So we created a scholarship program. You can apply with our team, let our team know. And basically it's a scholarship for $3,000 towards a $10,000 to $15,000 program. So what that means is you'll still have to pay the remaining balance. So, if I were to go to university and I was awarded a scholarship or a bursary for part of the tuition, I still pay the remaining tuition. So that's what the scholarship is that you will receive the deposit, the $3,000 towards Millionaire or Modern Mentor, whichever one you decide you want to do. And then we'll help facilitate the remaining balances for you to continue the program and end up with the master's degree of you. And master's degree in manifestation is what I always say. So if you do want to apply for that, please reach out to the team to put in your application, and I will give out and award another scholarship tomorrow. And then I will award scholarships on every live event every single month now. This is what we've decided to do. You also, as a scholarship awardee, will be featured in our newsletter. So we will feature you in the Diamond Academy newsletter that goes out once a month. So gives you a little bit of exposure too, which is really fun. I think we have a lot of thousands of people on that email list. So gets your face out there, which is great. So today we're going to award a scholarship, and we will award one again tomorrow. So the scholarship awardee today is Katie Brink. Katie Brink, and I don't think she can turn her camera on, which is okay, but we always want to make sure that the scholarship awardees are live on the event. Part of that is that we want to make sure that they're here, that they're growing, that they're committed, that they're disciplined, and they're putting in the work. And so if you're on here live, it shows that you're an active participant in your growth and in our community and on our journey. And then we want to make sure that that's something you can do. So Katie, let's do a round of applause, Jen, for Katie, because I don't think she can. And congratulations, Katie. We're so incredibly grateful to have you. So going into tomorrow, remember the power of the present moment. So right now, I'm putting you into a process and a journey where in this present moment, I'm having you become aware. I'm having you become aware of who you think you are. Tomorrow, we're going to have even greater awarenesses of who we think we could be. And then after the event is over, we are moving into the present moment of who I am now. Who I am now. And we get to change that. Now, over 3 days, are you going to be able to have a complete identity shift and change your outside world and manifest going from nurse to multimillionaire? Is that what I did? No. Took me 6 months. I invested $10,000 into myself, or $8,000 into myself into a program. I studied me for months and months straight, and I shifted the paradigms completely. So that's what we help people to do. But these 2 days are going to give you the tools to get the journey started. But this is a process that will be ongoing. So please don't think that this is just 2 days and you're done. This is personal growth over a lifetime together. And we're here to support you through it. So we're going to end today with a beautiful, beautiful song. This song is a little bit more upbeat, but I loved the words of it. I can't remember who it's by now. Hold on, because you're going to ask me, because we're going to turn the stream off in a second. Oh, here it is. So the song is called, okay, like I always say, according to who, right? Like I'm like, fat is wrong according to who? You have to be super, super wealthy to be happy and successful. Like according to who? I always say that. This song is called Who Says. Like, could this be more perfect? So it's Selena Gomez and The Scene. And it's really a song about self-love. And like, who says you aren't this? Who says you aren't that? It just really gets you thinking. And it's the perfect song to end today. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about our Black Friday offer, our Black Friday promo, you guys. Like it's so good. I can't wait to share. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about our next retreat that's coming up in 2025 too. So make sure that you come on.